We now have the latest on the U.S. diplomatic push to end Russia's war on Ukraine. The Kremlin signaling this morning that there is no breakthrough after talks involving Russian President Vladimir Putin and U.S. President Donald Trump's personal envoys.
We have a problem with a war that our people are trying to settle now with Russia and Ukraine. Not an easy situation, let me tell you. What a mess.
Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff and his son-in-law Jared Kushner sat across the table from Putin for 5 hours yesterday in Moscow. A top aide to Putin who was in those talks says there was no compromise over Russia's demands for Ukraine territory. This morning, the Kremlin saying Putin accepts some aspects of the U.S. peace proposal but rejects others. A Kremlin spokesperson adds that Russia is willing to keep meeting with the United States to keep those talks taking place. Meantime, peace talks, we know, are also the focus for NATO foreign ministers this morning as they're meeting at the alliance's headquarters in Brussels. Crystal Gamansingh joining us from London following that angle of the story. So talk to us more, Crystal, about what is happening in the session today. Of course, the issue around the Ukraine war, the issue around Moscow and whether or not there can be some level of peace deal top of mind. What are you hearing?
Absolutely, Angie. And what we're hearing at that meeting in Brussels from those NATO foreign affairs minister is that peace in Ukraine is a priority. It's something that everyone wants, including Ukraine. But they are also signaling to Moscow and Russian President Vladimir Putin that the weapons flow will continue, that it is a priority to make sure that Ukraine is in a position to be able to defend itself, to defend its territories, and to make sure that it is in its strongest position possible when those negotiations do eventually move forward. We did hear from NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte saying that it is because of the efforts of the United States. He made a particular mention of U.S. President Donald Trump for getting everyone around the table, for having these important discussions. But he says in the meantime, support for Ukraine must continue.
Thanks to the US, thanks to the Europeans, US sending its crucial gear to Ukraine, paid for by Canada and European allies, but also Europe and Canada doing a lot bilaterally. And secondly, making sure that the economic sanctions bite, that they are effective. That's also exactly what is happening.
So there you hear the two priorities from the NATO Secretary General saying the weapons will continue to flow, sanctions. We will likely hear more on both of those topics throughout the day, Angie.
And Rutte also commenting and mentioning Canada. We know Canadian Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand is taking part in that meeting. We did see her there during that family photo. There it is right there. What are we expecting Canada to bring to the table on this?
Well, Canada walked into that meeting with some more money, with two rather large pledges, one helping out the overall plan or the overall pool. It's called Pearl, and it is the comprehensive assistance package. We got two promises from the Canadians, one for that overall package worth about $200 million. Let's hear directly from the minister.
Canada's contribution to the purchase of this Pearl package will be $200 million, bringing Canada's total contribution to $890 million over the past 6 months. Second, I am announcing that Canada is committing $35 million in security support through the NATO Comprehensive Assistance Package Fund.
So two big funding announcements there from the minister. We did hear from Mark Rutte saying that he expects by the end of today's meeting to share some more funding announcements to benefit Ukraine.
All right, Crystal, we'll keep following that as the meeting continues. Crystal, thank you so much for this. Crystal Gamansingh for us in London.